All right, those two people that watch my videos. Right, what I'm going to be doing on my channel is I'm going to be filtering some content. So from here on in, that over 18s thing is going to be applied to any videos where I do raw swearing. So anything that's just got like outright swearing in, like the F word and stuff like that, I'm going to mark it up as like for over 18s only. Now, there's going to be a couple of people there, or those two people who watch me stuff, because you both have YouTube channels. You're going to be sitting there going, but hold on, Dave, that's a bit bad, because like you're going to be restricting the reach of your videos or those particular videos. And indeed, that might even affect the other videos as well. We really don't understand how one type of video would affect another one on your own channel. Like the way that YouTube and Google deal with them, I don't think that's very clear. However, you know, there might be someone there sitting there going, well, you know, Dave, that's definitely going to restrict the growth of your channel. That is absolutely correct. However, what I'm trying to do is to have this channel done in such a way where I don't compromise myself. So I think the only way that I can do that is, because don't forget, those videos, I'm not censoring myself for those videos. I'm just making sure that I am not going to upset the wrong people with them. So this is what I'm saying. That this is kind of a way for me to be still uncensored on the videos that I want to be a certain way with. And let me get something clear here as well. I don't spout off like, you know, like some kind of mad, like, you know, political rhetoric and stuff like that. I don't mouth off about like contentious, you know, health things and stuff like that. No, all I do is just use swear words, which is what loads of people on YouTube do. And I'm just talking about technology. I'm not trying to influence people's lives one way or the other, politically or with their health and stuff like that. And I'm most certainly not spreading misinformation or anything. So, you know, people might be sitting there going, well, Dave, do you really have to go that far then to, you know, to restrict and lock down some of your content? It's not like you're some mad subversive who's trying to destroy the planet or something. You're just some idiot from Liverpool doing tech reviews and you're a bit mouthy with them. You know, bottom line is, I don't know, like, how much it goes against you if people may start complaining about your stuff. And by complaining about your stuff, I'm talking about manufacturers complaining about your stuff, because I've got a feeling that might start happening with some of my videos further down the line, because there are certain manufacturers who have got certain products that I will be doing talks about, which are not going to be favourable. So what I'm trying to do is just to make sure that somewhere along the line, I can't have any like comeback off certain things, because I will have adhered to the guidelines as best as possible. Not even as best as possible. I'm going to go as over the top as I can to adhere to guidelines and things like that. Again, you know, there might be people sitting there going, come on, Dave, you're probably worrying about nothing there. And quite possibly I am. And there might be people sitting there again saying, but you're going to restrict your channel. Of course I am. I know this. But what it is, like I say, I don't want to compromise myself. And I'm not going to self-censor when it's not necessary. If I need to say something a particular way, it's going to get said. So the best way, I think, to move forward is to kind of like lock off that content in such a way that it is adhering to as much of the guidelines or the interpretation of the guidelines as possible. The other thing as well, obviously, is secondary to that is it also keeps that material away from ears that don't need to hear it as well. So don't forget, you know, there's that whole kids thing. So it doesn't matter whether I say my content's not for kids. You know, if some adults are going, oh, well, these people are all dead mouthy on YouTube and like my kid is swear words and stuff like that. End of the day, I'm not even going to get to like whose fault that is, that like some kid managed to get hold of an iPad and started listening to some bonehead like me swearing. Do you know what I mean? And you would think to yourself, well, it's not my fault. Obviously, I didn't force the kid to come and watch me swear. But at the end of the day, it kind of like the blame will be on you, the YouTuber. It always will be. You're the last person in that line. And as soon as everyone starts deflecting responsibility, it will go as far down the line as it can go until it reaches the end. And then it's usually the person at the end that gets the blame. So in that instance, as much as what it wouldn't be my fault if some kid heard me swearing on me videos, if I put that extra layer of like, you know, you can't watch this unless you're 18 and all that stuff, it takes that further away from being my responsibility also. However, there are people out there, there are adults out there who allow their children who shouldn't be watching particular types of content. There are adults who will allow their kids to watch content that is over 18s and stuff like that. At that point, that is most certainly not my fault. And if a kid manages to get hold of a device which should be locked down to that kid, and they manage to get in and, like, you know, log into, like, you know, mum or dad's account, which is, like, you know, gonna give them access to over 18's content. Again, not my problem at that point, because I will have gone as far as I possibly could have done to have stopped that from happening, or for kids to see my stuff. And as far as adults are concerned, you know, I'm sorry, but once it goes over 18, and as soon as, like, I have that warning, because don't forget as well, once I do the over 18s, is, you know, that over 18 thing, I'm still going to put the warning at the beginning of the video, warning people it's got swear words in. Do you know what I mean? So again, if at that point some bonehead adults go and watch it, then screw them. You know, they were warned enough, it was over 18s, and if they didn't like the content after they started watching it, then they've got no right to complain about it, because they were fairly warned about it. Anyways, yeah, I think that's probably the bottom line to all that. Now, I appreciate there's some people that really do like those videos that I do, those A Coffee with David videos, because they're generally done a bit kind of tongue-in-cheek, and I try to be as funny as I can with them. Now, there are options, obviously, that I've got here, and that is go back to bleeping stuff, right? Because bleeping the stuff, and I still give a warning when it's bleeped as well. I really do try to be fair. Honestly, I just feel like sometimes I might be doing too much here, but I do go as far as I can to warn people off these things. And there's another thing as well. I see kids in YouTube videos actually use the words like, you know, the S word for poop and the P word for pee. In fact, there's one for you. In fact, I'm going to say it, piss and pissed, right? If you've got your what's the names up right now, you know, the what's in the text thing, YouTube will translate piss and pissed, right? Guarantee you, be translated. If you use the S word for poop, it won't translate that, okay? So I know for sure that using piss and pissed and stuff like that, YouTube would appear to be fine with that. However, surely kids using them words and the S word and stuff like that, I mean, I've even heard some of them outright swear, but quite often you will hear those kids who are meant to be being protected by those particular things that are put in place. You will hear those kids using S and P and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm digressing too much there. Point that I'm getting at is those particular types of videos, like the Coffee with David ones and stuff like that, I could go and bleep those if I want. The only problem is, and this is dead serious, the reason why my video started going raw swearing was literally because I had changed my me NLE, and also I changed platform as well. So I went from Windows and Edius over to Mac and Resolve. Now, when I was on my older system, I could edit really quick with that stuff. So doing those bleeps, and then I used to put the test card over my mouth and things like that, which I do think come across as being quite funny as well. Those things, as long as they do take, I could do them really quick on my old system. On this system with the Mac and Resolve, I'm still learning it, and it takes me forever to do certain stuff which may appear to be only simple things to do. And of course, if I'm effing all the way through a video, it's going to take a lot longer to do that. So yeah, I've got the option to do the A Coffee with David videos with bleeps in. Those A Coffee with David videos will never not have some swearing element in, whether it's bleeped or not. That's the reason. The thing with those titles, when it says A Coffee with David in the title, that's really just a little kind of nod to say to people, look, it's got swearing in, whether it's bleeped or not, it's definitely there, do you know what I mean? And that's for people who watch me content, because some people like that. So if they see that one and you go, right, I'm definitely watching that because that idiot's going to be swearing or bleeping, you know what I mean? Then yeah, cool. But yeah, so I've got to work out about doing how I approach that stuff. I might go back to some bleeping for certain things, but it really is a pain in the backside to do that. It does take me some time to do it. Anyway, I think I've kind of run the course of this video now, and I'm sorry if it's dragged on. I tried to do this one as fast as I could, but I'm just incapable. I can't do that. Anyway, so there we go. That's what I'm going to start doing, and it's really... two things. Hopefully it keeps me on the straight and narrow as far as my relationship with YouTube and Google is concerned, and it gives me a bit more of a clearance to avoid certain types of complaints being made against me. Once again, even though I am not this mad, subversive, heavily weighted political channel or somebody who's like, you know, trying to give people false health information and all that, you know, this is the thing. There's a ton of really genuinely bad things that can go on YouTube, right? Things that really do need attention, you know, real bad information or real like, and I don't care what the affiliation is, but, you know, heavily affiliated political views. As soon as you go, like, you know, start drifting, no matter what edges you go to, it starts getting dangerous, and don't care what edges they are, they're always dangerous once you reach them. And then there's all that like bogus health stuff that goes on. We all know what I'm talking about when I'm saying this. Those things are genuinely things of concern on YouTube, but it would appear that sometimes people put as much weight into complaining about stuff as what they would with that to some divvy like me just doing, you know, tech reviews, but being colourful with my language and being absolutely clear with my opinion as well and not sitting on the fence. Right, hard cut right now. Dave, you've said everything you need to say. Stop meandering and get off. Anyway, there's my message for this video. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care. Goodbye now.